So, welcome back to my small knitting channel, my small knitting podcast. If you are interested in everything about my own take on knitting, what I choose to knit, and if you are interested into a podcast like I will do today, that I'm calling Woolly News. The previous one, I will try to attach the card somewhere. I called it New Woolly Releases, but I think it was a bit too restrictive as a name. I came up with Woolly News. Maybe it's gonna stick, maybe not. So a chapter or episodes that maybe I will do every 2 weeks to present my own take on the wool and fiber community, what I have seen that has caught my attention, that has caught my eye, what I would like to knit and why. So this will be a small concentrate of for the last 2 weeks what I've seen in these communities, whether it's on Ravelry or on Instagram or on YouTube. I understand, unfortunately, some people cannot use Ravelry, so whenever there are other possibilities, other links people can use, I will make sure I put everything in the description box. So please check the description box. So whether you are on a telephone or a tablet, you know there is a little downsize arrow, or if you are on a computer, it's show more, I think it's the label. And I put everything in the description box, including what I'm wearing, because I like when people do that. So if I like when people do that, best thing to do is to do it myself. And so I'll talk about these earrings a bit later. They are from a creator from New Zealand, and who makes very, very beautiful earrings. I had seen these ones for a very long time, and I finally decided to buy them. Anyway, so here is the Woolly News, the second episode, number 2 of Woolly News. So I have my notes here so that I can't, I see if I don't forget anything. I'm gonna be sitting on the side so that I can put some pictures on some part of the screen. So the first news that I have seen for a little while now is Yarns, which is a site in New Zealand. So it's, I think they have, I'm not sure they have a brick and mortar shop, but they sell yarn and offer other things on their website. And I have bought yarn from them already. I bought the yarn from my Laurenson sweater. I bought cocoon yarn from them. It was a tie-dye colorway. I still have a blue tonal colorway that I haven't used yet. And my sons bought the Elvan shawl pattern and all the yarn for the shawl from them for my Christmas present last Christmas. And the lady who runs this online shop is really nice, very nice. She had a little baby last year, and she has some tutorials, and this is what called my attention. She has a tutorial to knit brioche in the round. So already knitting brioche is not, I have never ever had any project with brioche, so I think I should one day use brioche. But you know, when I saw for the first time brioche knits, it reminded me of some special stitches pattern that I used to use back in the day. We call it fausse côte anglaise in French. It's some kind of ribbed pattern where you do it on 5, so on an odd number of stitches, on 5 stitches, where you need 3 knits and 2 purls, and then on the next round, on the wrong side, there is only one ridge of knit side on the right side, and purl ridge on the right side too, and all the other ones are mixed and matched. Every other row you change, so it sort of gives the same feeling, but it's not brioche, where you can have a 2-color, for example. This is what I think is the most impressive in brioche, is the 2-color brioche, and also pattern in brioche. But anyway, I have never knitted brioche, and she has a tutorial to knit brioche in the round, because it's even more intellectually difficult for me to envision how you knit brioche in the round when I've watched tutorial to knit brioche on the flat, on the shawl, for example. So I will link the details down below. So she has a tutorial for that, and she will make available, she will have a new pattern sometime later in the fall, I think. And please do go to her website, especially if you are in Europe, because she has a very large array of yarns, and she is very, very, very nice. And we've exchanged emails back and forth, so it's she's really nice and very helpful. And at some point she was running out of one colorway I was looking for, so she arranged, and when it was available, she contacted me. She was very, very nice. So next news is a pattern that really jumped at me, because if you remember in my first knitting podcast, I will put the card up there, I talked about the Sotobosk shawl from Laine Magazine that I had finished, with a very special pattern that I like very much. As soon as I saw it in the book, I knew I wanted to knit the shawl, and I did whenever I found the yarn for it. So this pattern is that I will show you now, is from Kate Barrios, or Barrios, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Anyways, she's from South America. She's from Colombia, but she lives, and she lives in Russia. So in South America, there are very large, important tradition for knitting and fiber work. So is in Russia. My parents, that was a very long time ago, brought me back a mohair shawl from Russia. Fortunately, I don't have it any longer, but it was a very, very intricate pattern. And if you look on websites or Ravelry, you will see that the Russian community is also very active in the fiber world. So she kind of concentrates both worlds, from South America and from Eastern Europe and Russia. So she designed a sweater that is called Chubasco sweater. It reminds me of the Sotobosk pattern, although it is absolutely not the same pattern, but it reminds me of it. And I know I want to knit that sweater at some point. I put it in my queue. I haven't bought the pattern yet, but I will, and I will knit the sweater. One other thing that caught my attention with this sweater, the pattern was enough to me to make me want to knit it, is that she knitted it with Julie Asselin yarns. So I've knitted one of my sweater, the Galan sweater that I will put here, in Julie Asselin yarn. It was a Marie-Amélie marmalade design that I knitted during the first lockdown in France. I ordered yarn from Canada. That was just I had never thought I would order yarn from outside of France, or maybe, in the countries around France, but I ordered it. She had an Etsy shop, so I ordered it from her in Canada, because I had tried to knit that sweater with another yarn I had in my stash, but the effect was absolutely not the one I was expecting from the pictures. So I ordered. That was the first time I knitted a pattern with the recommended yarn. I had never done that before. So I ordered from her, Julie Asselin, who is in Canada. And the yarn was very, very nice. I love the sweater. Everyone compliments me whenever I wear it. So the combination of the two, this pattern that reminds me of my Sotobosk shawl that I love, knitted with this yarn that I love very much from my Galan sweater, made really me, see that it jumped at me, and I like very much the ribbing at the bottom of the sweater. I like everything about it. I like the color, and I think that if I ever knit that sweater, I will use a color very close to it. It's a beigey gray, and I like it very much. So that's my second news for today. The third news I want to talk about, the third thing I want to talk about is a new shawl. The pattern has not been released yet, from Moonstruck Knits on Instagram, and it's Moonstruck Mermaid on Ravelry. Her name is Natasha Hornby. I don't know if, very sorry if I don't pronounce it correctly. But this shawl that has no name yet, and she asked on Instagram for suggestions, really caught me. It's a heavy texture, heavy. I don't know if it's heavy or not, but a lot of texture. Looks to me it's a triangle shawl with a square-based texture. I like it very much. I think it's a very interesting pattern. I think I want to knit it. I don't have the yarn for it. I don't know if I will choose the color she's been showing on her Instagram. That's something between a deep ochre, a soft brown with a bit of a yellow, a warm soft brown ochre yellowish color. But anyway, maybe I will choose something like that, but maybe not. I do not know, but the pattern is really fantastic to me. I'm waiting to see other pictures. I'm waiting to see how the pattern looks like on Ravelry, and I think at some point I will knit it. So since I've started this podcast, my queue on Ravelry or in my head has increased a lot. So maybe it's not a good thing for me, because I started work again this week, and my teaching is going to start soon, and I'm going to have a heavy load this semester. So anyway, as I said, I like to fantasize and think about knitting when I have a few minutes available. So this one took a long time to me. I was looking at the picture and maybe imagining which kind of color and texture and yarn I would like to see this shawl knitted with. So I will be following what happens with this pattern and when she releases her work. So now that's all I had to say for patterns or other things, tutorials and things like that had caught my attention. Now there are two knit-alongs that are going on right now. One is from Laine Magazine. So Laine Magazine, I've already participated in the first knit-along with the 52 Weeks of Shawls book that I have purchased. I'm sorry I forgot to bring it here with me, but anyway, I have purchased and knitted the Sotabosc shawl from, and the first knit-along was Your Favorite Shawl or something like that. The second knit-along that started this August and will run until November 14th, August 16th, and will run until November 14th, is Your Favorite Shawl. No, it was Your Favorite Shawl, the first knit-along. The second knit-along is Challenge Yourself. So that means if in the book you see a pattern that has unusual technique or unusual texture, appearance, or knitting with unusual yarns or unusual colors for you, I think it's a good theme for a knit-along. They will have so it's a year-long knit-along. They have the second one, so maybe they have 3 or 4 themes that will go during the year. Four themes during the year. So it's so I don't know what the other themes are going to be, but anyway, in this book, for sure you will find something that you have never done, and that will challenge yourself. So I don't know if I'm gonna follow this knit-along this time around, because I have other short projects that I have the yarn for. So and I've been willing to knit it for a very long time, and it's going to be a big project for me. So anyway, I'm not sure I will have time to knit this knit-along, but I will probably wait for the third theme and see what it is and join it. So that was for the Laine Magazine knit-along. There is another one that I was sure I was not going to follow, and here I am following it. It's a new knit-along from Kadijak Knits, and they've called it Find Your Fluff. So anything fluffy, whether the yarn is fluffy or the project is fluffy or the memory and ideas you put in it comforts you and has some fluff for you. And I was, I did the previous half and half wrap cal, and I'm waiting on some yarn to start my second half and half wrap shawl. So to do it again, but and I was sure I did not think I was going to follow this knit-along, but when I was in the Pyrenees, and I will attach here my previous podcast where I talk about this mohair farm I visited, as I do every year when I go there in the French Pyrenees. I bought some mohair. Maybe you will see the color better. Some mohair for my mother. She chose the color. So the color is saffron. I call it curry, but it's saffron. So she chose the color, and she asked for a shawl for this Christmas. So I have the regular mohair, and I don't know if I have it because it's, I think I need to change balls soon. I have it in the booklet colorway, so I'm going to show you just the yarn here for you, you know, the booklet. In the same colorway, in the saffron colorway, so it's a different finish. So I casted on this shawl as when I went back from my vacation, and I've knitted already quite a bit on it because I want to finish it, and there is no pattern. I'm not using any pattern. Which was in the right side? This one. I'm not using any pattern. To be honest, I used the Boneyard structure. Boneyard shawl is from Stephen West, and I've already knitted the Boneyard shawl in cotton for the summer, and I'm using it all summer. It's just right here next to me, and I'm wearing it whenever I feel a bit cold. So I use the cast on method. Oh, I think the cast on is on this side, I'm sorry. So I use the cast on method from the Boneyard shawl from Stephen West. So you start, you know, with three stitches, and you knit about 7 rows, and you pick up 3 stitches and another 3 stitches. You start with 9, and then you increase in the middle. So I chose to increase with yarn overs, and you increase on each side, and I chose to increase also with yarn overs. And so what I'm doing, I'm sort of respecting the 12 rounds for changing patterns. And what I'm doing, I'm knitting. So I started with the regular mohair in plain stockinette, but after that I'm knitting with booklet in plain stockinette, and I'm using lace patterns that I've found in some of my books. I've already talked about that, so I will attach in the card somewhere where I talked about it already. So here is my first lace pattern that are just, you know, knit 2 together and yarn overs, and my second pattern, which is a bit more complicated, but it's very easy to make, where you have, you know, you do yarn overs that are bigger and bigger, and then you decrease, and it makes some, you know, really interesting texture. So here is the stockinette version, and another mesh type. This is where I'm knitting right now. Another mesh type of lace. I don't know if you can see it. We'll see it whenever I can stretch it a bit better, because right now there are a lot of stitches and I can't stretch it anymore. But some lace, and from the recommended pattern I've added a row of garter in between the mesh, because I was afraid it was going to be too fragile but maybe not, maybe I was wrong. But anyway, I'm doing this mesh, and it's I'm knitted with my Knit Pro wooden needles in 8 millimeters, so it's going up very fast. Anyway, and it's full of fluff for me, from the mohair as the yarn, which is very fluffy, but also from a very fluffy feeling for something I'm knitting for my mother. So I think of her every time I knit this yarn, when I mainly knit now during the evening. She's not doing that good, and sometimes she loses a bit her head. She's 84, my father is 87. They are not in very good health, so you know, it's a warm and fuzzy feeling whenever I pick up this project. And it was a very good entry for the Find Your Fluff can. So if you have this kind of project, whether the yarn is fluffy or, you know, some kind of fluffy feeling for you, please join, because it's a very interesting can. So there is Kali's going on Instagram, and there is a thread on Ravelry, and I will leave everything down below in the description box. So my last point for today, my last news for today is going to be a book release or a booklet release is the Slow magazine, and Slow is written SLOOW. So it's a magazine that is written in French. It's all in French, and I don't think there will be a translation. So if you are from a French-speaking country, or if you speak French, you can order it, and I will leave again all the details in the description box. It's been edited by Marie-Amélie Marmelade, who made the Galan sweater, if you remember, and Guillaume Pressensé, who are the editorial team and the driving force behind this magazine. The first issue was Voulez-vous, and I'm not sure if there will be other issues for Slow magazine that has changed the name, and if there will be more or not. But anyway, I hope there will be more, because it's a very interesting magazine where there are patterns, and I'm just going to show you one that I like. Is Chun pattern. Okay, it's a very interesting sweater with interesting lace work in the front. Maybe, I hope you can see it. And what I like about this book, or this booklet, there are patterns, but there are more than that. There is, just before the pattern itself, there are articles and notes about both the designer, here is Zhao Wei Designs, and the person who gave the yarn for the sample, for the one for the pictures, and in this case it's Artemis yarns. And for each pattern you have a full article about the person who designed the pattern and the person who dyed or made the yarn. I think it's very interesting, because a lot of the time, whenever you find a pattern on Ravelry, there are suggestions, but you have to make up your own mind about, the yarn and, whoever designed it. I think it's very interesting that someone edits something about the creators behind every pattern. In addition to these different creators, there are other things. There are some recipes. They offer cocktail recipes. Here is an article about Olivier and his mother, who are knitting. Olivier has a podcast, also on YouTube. Something about understanding your yarn and your fiber, and it's very interesting to have that kind of articles. And I like paper, I like the books, I like the smell of paper, I like touching, and I like having them. And there is also another article about how knitting has its place in our society. So it's very interesting. Some yoga advices for the pain that are, common among knitters, and of course all the knitting patterns. So I will probably knit one or two dark shawls also that I find interesting. So I will probably knit one or two of their designs on Voulez-vous, on Slow magazine, on Slow magazine. But anyway, this is the kind of publication I like, I like very much. So now to finish, because now I'm done with that. I'm just gonna try to see. I forgot my maybe my mother is losing her head, but I am also losing my own head. I totally forgot the name of the creator for these earrings, so I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna look and see if I can find it. So I found it. Sorry. So the shop owner is not in New Zealand, as I said. She's in Australia, and her name is Anna Nichols, and she's as Martha Jeans on Instagram, and she has a lot of very beautiful. Okay, reflect. Lot of very beautiful earrings. The ones I'm having right now are from last year. This is a shape I had seen a very long time. Anyway, I will leave the details in the description box. I had seen that shape a very long time ago. It's blue. I bought them, so I found my the email that confirmed my order. I bought them last March or March the year before. I think it was March the year before. So they're very light in this blue color that I like a lot. So you know, they came from Australia. I paid for shipping and taxes. I'm fine with that whenever I want something that I cannot find where I am. And anyway, I enjoy them very much. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope if you want to see more of that kind of a podcast on your timeline, that you will consider to subscribe and come back. I tend to make that kind of podcast maybe every 2 weeks. And maybe in between one podcast more for myself and what I'm knitting and my other things, thoughts on that are not about news. So I'll see if I continue and if I have the time to do that. But you know, this is something I do for myself already, so I might as well share it with you. And if you are interested, thank you for watching. Thank you for spending that time with me, and I hope I will see you in my next video. Bye.